What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Before we get started, if you could drop me a like, a comment and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Third upload in 4 days. Couldn't get one out yesterday. I was out traveling pretty much all day for work, so I think I left home at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't get home till like 6:30 at night, so no chance for me to make a video yesterday, plus, you know, not a lot happening. So today's video, I guess, is an update because it looks like VIEIRA is the front runner, as I spoke about the other day, but it seems like he's gone to the top of the pile. But if you do have a few different people you watch on YouTube, and you would know Joe Wayman from Just Joe, and you know Connor McGilligan from One Leeds fan channel, they sort of spoke. I guess I'm going to regurgitate what they've said in a way, and just my thoughts on it. So I think there's some good and bad points for VIEIRA. But he's not appointed yet. It looks like Connor was saying that Farker is definitely not. He's part of the advanced talks, but he's having some issues with the structure of Leeds. I'm not too sure how that affects him, but I mean, that is what it is. If the hierarchy doesn't suit you and that's the sticking point, then yeah, sure. But you know, I wasn't sure about Vieira just because of no championship pedigree. I think that's still an issue, but watching Joe's video with a Crystal Palace fan, it sounds like it was a bit of a Vieira wasn't at the forefront of decisions. I think he had a lot of help from his assistant coaches who will be coming with him. So it's not the same as Gerrard, who lost Michael Beale and things like that. But a little bit concerning that he's not. This is a big deal, this Leeds job. It's not as simple as a Fulham or a Norwich or a Bournemouth, where you're entering into a job where the team's already set up to do well in the Championship. And this is a team that underperformed in the Premier League. The players are of the ones leaving believe they're of a Premier League standard, and a lot of them will be able to find jobs or teams in top leagues. So the Championship isn't an option. So a lot of those other teams, like I said, your Bournemouths, where they went up and down a few times, have built a structure where they'd go up, get relegated, use the money to expand and maintain a healthy top championship side until the most recent time where they went up and they've stayed up. That's where my problem with Leeds comes in. A lot of these players aren't going to stick around. This is a big rebuild. Look, Vieira has the capability to bring players in. He has the sway and the pull. I just don't know if he knows what players he wants. That's my only concern. I think Farker's done it before on a budget, and I think he knows. He has a style of play, and he knows what he wants. Vieira had an attacking style, lost the pressing of Gallagher, and started losing some games and decided to go really defensive, and they didn't have a shot on target for 4 or 5 games. It's just concerning. We've just come from managers who struggled to utilise our attacking talents. We couldn't put the ball in the back of the net to save our lives at some points. And I've got a bad feeling about Vieira. I just don't think, and I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to back him if he is the manager, but I just don't think he's got what it takes to get us up. Now, this might backfire on me in 12 months. You might all be laughing, going, "I told you." But it's hard for me to get excited. Look, it's not as bad as the other appointments we've done in the past, where we get some guy from the 2nd division of Albania, you know. Just obviously that's not what we've done in the past, but you know, it felt like that. But Vieira, it's exciting because he's a young manager, young enough, but he's just not proven. It's not like we're going to go get a Potter or, you know, Corberan, which I really believe we should be getting Farker or Corberan. The fact we're going for Vieira instead, it concerns me that Corberan's got a £2 million release clause, and they're not willing to pay that for a manager that will probably get us in the playoffs. and knows what he wants, has affiliation with Leeds. And my concern is that if they're skimping and scraping because of the 2 million, is it because they only have a certain amount of money they want to spend in their mind and they're using it for players, which is fine. My concern is an ambitious team would just go and pay for it. Someone playing bully ball in that league would just go and spend the money to get him in. And Leeds aren't doing that. And that's my only concern, is a Fulham would go and just pay the release clause. Obviously, the 49ers are new to the league, but they've brought in somebody who is supposed to be helping them as the interim. And so I'm not too sure. I don't know about the inner workings. It could just be that, they think that other options can get them up. I don't think Vieira's that. The only thing I can think of is they want to try to attract players, which Vieira will do. Problem is, he's got to know what to do with them when he gets the players in. The only positive, because it is the championship, you could bring in some attractive players and it might just get you through because they are too good for the league, or very good players for the league. Compared to the Premier League, where you can have the players, but you're all sort of on equal ground in some respect outside the top sort of 7. So, look, the Vieira signing would be exciting in the way of, I think we'd bring in some players that we actually know for once. Last time we were in the championship, it was like, who are these people we're bringing in? But the decision needs to happen soon. And I think what they were saying by Friday, but Farke's not done and dusted. I think he's the guy. I really do. I have a vibe about Farke, and we were never linked to these managers before and even after Bielsa, where, I just think it'd be a real shame if we missed out on Farke. I think Farke is someone that you can't really turn down, and the fact you don't have to pay him out to get him, he's literally doesn't have a job. And he didn't even do bad at Borussia Mönchengladbach. I know that he didn't progress it, but he finished 10th. It's not a bad result. Whereas Vieira had a bad time of it and he got sacked. It's funny, the logic that comes into it. I would just love to see what the logic of the 49ers is for Vieira. The only thing you can point to is the fact he can pull players in. The logic, it just doesn't make any sense. He's never been in the championship. It's not an easy league. It's a lot of games. It's not much time between games. I just don't know. I just don't see a world where he can get us out of the championship in the first season. So unless the 49ers are planning on rebuilding and spending cash over, instead of going foot to the floor this season, maybe it's a 2 to 3 year thing. But I would have thought that the investors that they have would be turning around and saying, let's turn this from a £170 million club into a £400 million club by getting us promoted. Immediate return on investment. So it's just a few things that aren't lining up. The fact it's taken this long, I know they're doing the due diligence and I know they don't really understand, but they are in London and they're getting interviews done. It's just, they mustn't be answering Farke's questions properly if he's still concerned about the structure. That's my only problem. And the fact he's not that, it doesn't seem like he's appeased by it, concerns me a little bit. But that's all I'll speak about the manager thing at the moment. I want Farke, but it looks like Vieira is pretty much at evens at the moment. So if it is him, I'll back him to the hilt. I just have my reservations. After the last few years, these players are devoid of confidence as well. So people think we're going to go down to just win games. I just don't. I don't know. The fixtures are out. I think we have Cardiff first. I haven't looked at them properly, so my apologies. I was going to make another video, but I'll speak a little bit about it now. The first game's against Cardiff, and I think from what I've heard, we've got an easy run. I just don't want to be 3 games in going, shit, we've lost our first 3, or we only have 4 points in the first 3, and going, having question marks over Vieira at the start. we just can't languish, because we see the teams, you go down and then you just the longer you're there, the harder it is. And I just think you need to utilise the fact that Leeds United still has a name. We are, we were in the Premier League recently. Other teams are able to capitalise on that. I just want us to do the same thing. Go down there, bully teams into buying players off teams, and just come back up again. I've looked at the fixtures, because I'll be honest with you, I've been avoiding it just because it's going to be depressing looking at all the random teams you have to play that you just go, oh, And there's parts of the Premier League that weren't fun for the last 2 seasons, where you play Man United, then you play Chelsea, then you play Arsenal, all within the 2 weeks, and you're getting battered 4-0 by all of them. Not that we lost to Chelsea like that, but you know what I mean. You play these top teans, and then you have a run of games against middle teams, but your confidence is down, and you lose those. Or I'm just over losing, and a bit of PTSD comes in when you just go, what if we just start losing the championship as well? I don't know it's going to be that easy to win heaps of games, unless we bully teams into giving us players. I saw an article saying Bamford's going to be starting for us again next year, and I'll tell you what, if Bamford's starting, a lot of people, there's been people from other, like, the support teams in the Premier League that are going, oh, Bamford will score 20-odd goals in the championship. No, he won't. He didn't when he was there. He hasn't scored. He scored 17 in the Premier League, which is fantastic, but he scored 14 the year before. And he suited the system. That's why he played. He's not going to score us 20-odd goals. You saw some of the chances he gives up. It's not like the Leicester one. That was shocking. But it's not all the same sort of chance. They're all different. So it's not even like he can't finish with his feet, but he's great with his head. It's all of it. All of it's shocking. He's just devoid of confidence. And I don't want to go into a new season with the same old players, with the same mentality. A lot of these guys will be questioning, geez, we got battered a fair bit in the Premier League. Are we going to just walk the championship as well? Like, a lot of them won't have the confidence. So, I don't know. I'm just feeling a bit down at the minute about it all. Farker would be an appointment that makes me sort of feel a bit more positive, like we can go into the season positive, but here we are. Fixtures are out. No managers still. Haven't had much movement on players. Nothing's coming in. There's no rumours on who's coming in. And I just think, here we go again. New owners. And while they seem to be doing due diligence on stuff, it's like, you've got to move fast. They just saw what happened with Avrazani and the issues the fans had with Avrazani. Do not give yourself... Do not do the same to us as what he did. Do not dick around. Don't second guess. Don't just do. And that's the difference. Just do, and don't make excuses. But anyway, bit of a rant today, but there's more of the thoughts on the VIEIRA update, and hopefully tomorrow morning I have a bit of a more positive outlook, and is a bit more of a positive feel. But after hearing the Crystal Palace fan, if you haven't checked it out, actually watch Just Joe's video with the Crystal Palace fan. It was really, really interesting. He seems to know his stuff, and he wasn't completely against VIEIRA. He just said that he doesn't know how it's going to translate to the championship. He had his reservations. But anyway, drop me a like, comment, subscribe. That'd be fantastic. I appreciate your support. If you're returning again, please subscribe. It helps motivate me. I know it shouldn't be a motivating thing, but it does help motivate me. And I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll get one out either tomorrow or Sunday. If anything big news breaks, I'll get a video out. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.